so much for joining.
Hare Krishna पूजा माता जी and Hare Krishna Maharaj and all the assembled devotees. Dandavat pranam. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shamarasika Divadasi from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram. Jai Jagannath, Balaji Krishna ki jai, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Anybody else who would like to announce their name?
Hare
Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble request. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Nikunjara Sudha from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Today we are so fortunate to have His Holiness Samakrishi Maharaj from Khargaon. And today Prabhuji is going to enlighten us on Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 7, Chapter 15, verse 52 onwards. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam, and please
Hare
take over the
Krishna.
call.
Dandavat pranam to all the devotees who are there attending this and remote people who are also listening. So I will be listening in future. So it's a nice topic that we will be discussing for the glories of the holy name. The topic's name is Instruction for Civilized Living. This narration is between Yudhishthira Maharaj and Narad Muni after the last year's sacrifice in Hastinapur, Khandoprastha, Indraprastha. So Narad Muni is telling about the duties of all kinds of human beings. Varnashram Dharma is described. Now it is in general, it's talking about what happens, how they come back, or what happens. So this will be describing, it will be reading this. So just one verse before, verse number 59, Pitraya, Devaya. So Pitraya has been described in the previous verses, but we will do some prayers to the Supreme Lord. Om Agyantimirandasya Dhyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Savana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Savana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Shri Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Nama Panchakalpatarubhyasya Krapa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Nati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. It's very hot in India where I am here. So I have to be without a shirt, it causes a lot of heat. We'll be reading text number 52 of Canto 7, Chapter 15. Nishekadishma Nantai Samskarai Sanskrito Dvijah Indriyeshu Kriyaya Dhyana Jugati it offers. So translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So this is just after this verses Pravati Marg, Nivritti Marg, and how the Pitraya and how the person when he leaves the body, how he comes down again. So through the celestial smoke from the sacrifice, the Jiva attains the moon planet. And then after enjoying, he again descends to the earth through the rain to become herbs which are eaten by people and will turn into cement. Thus he is reborn. The same person can be reborn again. That is up to his destiny. If he has to come as a human being, it is the process that through sacrificing, you go up to the moon planet. From there, through the rain, it comes to the herbs. Herbs are food grains, and then that is eaten by the man, and then again is reborn. The same soul is reborn. So this text, the translation of this particular text, a twice born Brahman villager gains his life by the grace of his parents through the process of purification known as Garbhadhan. There are also other processes of purification until the end of life, when the funeral ceremony and Testi Kriya is performed. It talks about so many purificative processes. Sanskar. There are 16 sanskars in the Shastra that are given. Thus, in due course, the qualified Brahman becomes uninterested in materialistic activity and sacrifices. But he offers essential sacrifices for full knowledge into the working senses, which are illuminated by the fire of knowledge. Can you hear everybody all right? Is
Yes,
everything
Maharaj,
okay?
we can hear you, Maharaj.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, one second, Maharaj. Others, if you're not talking, can you
cannot
please
hear.
go on mute? Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji, I will mute them.
Yeah, if everybody can mute, it would be better. And if you cannot hear, let me know. I mean, I am at the full sound and full whatever best I can do. But there is a problem. I could speak little bit louder. So this verses, one thing one has to know, it's very complicated things, how one is this yagya, that yagya. But if one becomes a Krishna conscious, that is the glory of Krishna consciousness. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Prabhupada is brought to us. If we just take to that, we don't have to worry about all these things. How this person, he comes back again in the semen and reborn, or different processes. There is a two marks are there, Pravati and Nivritti mark. Pravati mark means it is for sense enjoyment. Nivritti mark is to withdraw the senses from its objects and engage in devotional service. So these two, Nivritti, the path of detachment, and Pravati mark is the path of enjoyment. Both are the path, and this we talked about the Pitraya. That what? So those interested in materialistic activities are like karma kand, gyan kand, kevala vishayarabhan. So karma kand and gyan kand. What is this karma kand? And so you do like yagya and different activity that an ordinary person does. You run nicely life, and so their purpose, ultimate goal of the karma kand is to go to the heavenly planet, enjoy higher planetary system, enjoy there. But shene punne mrityu lokam vishanti. And that punya is finish, just like a bank balance. You cannot withdraw anymore. You come down to the material world. This is the material world. This is like Bhumi, place of karma kand section. So that is karma kand. Then there is high gyan kand. Gyan kand means speculative knowledge. You think, oh, God may be like this, or we could go there. We have to take a shastric injunction from Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, not a speculation. Means by your own way, how far you could go. We have never seen spiritual world, any of this Virya or so anything we have not seen, how we could speculate. If we have never seen, we cannot speculate. So we have to see through the eyes of the Shastra. Shastra Chakshu. Chakshu means eye. Through the eye of Shastra, we can understand the higher principles, higher knowledge. So that is necessary to have a guru, have some sadhu and Shastra who are all together, and they give you the instruction how to go back permanently, not. So that is the One is ascending process, which is not good, and there is a descending process. That knowledge comes from Krishna. Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. He gives the knowledge through Brahma to Vyasdev to Narad to Vyasdev and different and parampara. That knowledge is perfect. But if we speculate in so Gyan Kant, it's again to enjoy the senses. So we will read about these things. So Parvati Marg are the inclination to stay in the material world, to enjoy varieties of sense gratification. Our main process is to enjoy the senses. See, soul has three tendencies: Atma, thinking, feeling, and willing. Thinking, we could turn it into spiritual world, or thinking, you could think of the enjoyment. I will enjoy this moment, this food, this kind of smell, or this kind of place, or this kind of movie. So thinking, you think first, that is initially. Feeling means you have feel that inside you without even being exposed to that. And willing to do the work means go and do activity. So these three things are always there. Only if somebody is dead, he cannot have that thinking, feeling, willing. But either it could be spiritualized or it could be in the material world. Both ways, one can have thinking, feeling, and willing. It's not that you stop thinking at all. I don't want to think. Even if you say you don't want to think, you are thinking about that. Even if you are, oh, I am not thinking, then still you are thinking that you are not thinking. So thinking is always there. Thinking, feeling, willing. That is the nature of the soul. Like sugar's nature is to be sweet. Fire's nature is to be burn, heat and light. So same thing, we have the nature to think, feel, thinking, feeling, and willing. And willing means activity. Go and directly do the activity. So pravati marg, that you want to enjoy. And if you have enjoying propensity of the body, it is enjoyment of the senses, material senses. So you will remain in the material world. Krishna will give you a lot of chances. That same thing that we have enjoyed in the previous life, chewing the chew, what you so you want to do the same thing again, investing your valuable human life, which would grant you the liberation, freedom from this material entanglement, and you don't have to remain uh, in the mother's womb with so much stool, urine, pus, smell, uh, crammed up, or not only 1 or 2 days, almost 9 months or more. One Karmati Bai was there. I will tell you a little bit story. So she was like, in those days, marriage has to be done before even long in the childhood. So the girl would have that this would be my husband. I will remain. So her mind does not go hither and thither. So that is the process, Vedic system. And then when they come to the maturity or puberty, when they have start menstruation, then Gauna or Bidai. Bidai means they are seeing that now the girl is mature, she could take care of the family. And so that was there even until Prabhupada's time or even my time, and still in the villages that happens, that they get married at a much earlier age. And that way they are not polluted by other boys or she's married already. So marriage is there publicly at a young age. So Prabhupada was hardly like 15, 16-year-old who got married with 11, 12-year-old Mataji. So different things happened in olden days, and that is the proper system. Now you see so much uh, divorces, talaq, or so much separation, so much anxiety. The girl, when she says, "Oh, he's not a good man for me," they go to another man. And this way, whole atmosphere is completely contaminated, and their mind is contaminated, their heart is contaminated, and Krishna cannot come in this kind of situation. So that old is gold. That is a brighter system, but people completely forgot. So Pravati Marg, just to enjoy the sex. Even 11, 12-year-old girls, they go, they find a boy, or boy finds a girl, and they feel they have win the win the game, but they never can remain together for lifelong as it used to be. So inclination is to stay in the material world to enjoy varieties of sense gratification. I was telling you about this Karmati Bai. Karmati Bai was a girl who was married at 11-year-old when she got 16 years. Her father was Parsuram, who was the Raj uh, king's like king's priest. Uh, and then so he was in a very high position, very rich man, like a king. He was living. Girl never went outside. But now they're gone, Gauna or Bidai time has come. and her rich in-laws, and they came, and some boy, they all came, but it was the night. The next morning, she was supposed to go. I'm just cutting it short. Uh, she has to go back to her in-laws' home all night because she was such a strong devotee, born in a devotee family. She heard that they don't worship Krishna, they don't allow any sadhus to come in the home, they don't discuss. There is no satsang, there is no kirtan, there is no pravachan, there is no Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagvatam, nothing is there. So she felt disgusted. She said, what is the use of this life? I cannot live in this way. So now they are there, the in-law and husband is all there. So she thought at midnight, she ran away with all the jewelries and everything. She just ran away from the home at 12 midnight, walking almost until morning. She used to sing every morning. She will wake up, she will sing about glories of the Supreme Lord Krishna or some hymns. And her mother did not hear those. So she went to her room and found that the room is empty. They looked around that maybe she's in the garden outside. They could not find. She called her husband. Her husband, he sent somebody. He looks, did not find nearby. Then he called the king because he was the king's priest and king's and so many soldiers all around the place, in all the directions, every direction. And then they were going, and how far she could go. She went maybe few miles, and then she said she saw that now they are so close by this Sipahi. So they will catch me and they will take me back again into the material material things, eating, sleeping, mating, depending. Produce children, just live, no Krishna in the center. So there was a kankal. Kankal means astipanjar, or a camel died, and his stomach was emptied completely inside, and his shell was there, and it was so much bad smelling. But she thought the smell of this material pravatti marga, or smell of this sense enjoyment is so bad. She tolerated. She went inside. But because she was a devotee, there was a nice smell was coming. So wherever there is a good devotee, there is nice fragrance. The surrounding area becomes enlivened, and it's birds and everything gets enlivened. Uh, so she stayed there for 3 days without eating, drinking, anything. The soldiers would not come very close to that. How nobody would think that somebody can enter into the body of this camel. And then after 3 days, she came out. Then they all stopped thinking that on this direction, this Karmati Bai is not there. So so she came out, and then by the mercy of Krishna, there was some group of people, simply people were going out on a pilgrimage to take a bath in Ganges. So she joined them and she came to the Ganges. She took a bath, whatever impurity was there because of staying in the camel's body. Then she came out, she gave her all the jewelries and just donated all that, everything. Simple sari, and she came to Vrindavan because that's what she heard in her childhood. And in Vrindavan, she remained in Brahmakund near the South Indian temple. So she was staying, chanting, meditating for days and days. And everybody, people who come to take the flowers, and they saw her, and then this message was spread all over Mathura also, not just Vrindavan. And her father, after a month or so after searching, then he said that my daughter must have gone to. She heard people would do so many afwa, so many rumors. Oh, she just ran away, or something. She might have another boyfriend, or something has happened. They never think correctly. The polluted mind always thinks of something wrong. And so he goes there, he sees some Chaube or Chaturvedi Brahman, and asks him that, and then he helps him. That he was also a Brahman, so he helps him, and that somebody has seen. So she says that yes, we have heard about her. She's in Brahmakund. So they were looking from a tree, climb on, because it was so much forest almost. Nobody could see, look into the daytime among all this jungle. Raj was, even when I went there in 70s, and there was so much jungle from temple all the way to our ISKCON temple, there was practically no shops, nothing was there or sold such a period. And afterwards, whole Chatikara road was completely empty. Nothing was there. Anyway, so he came down, found out that her daughter is wearing just clothes from dry leaves and just crying, and her tears wetted the ground, mud continuously, and her Abha effulgence was there, and he praised her obeisances. He was naturally he was also a devotee, so he understood that she is in such a ecstasy or crying for Krishna, and so he shook her. She did not open the eye. He says, "Beti, Beti, Karme thi bhai," but she did not open the eye. Then she shook her, and she came, and then she gives so much instruction to the father that you want to take, please come. You don't have to go to your in-laws home. You could stay at home. All your Gopal would be there. You could take care of him. But nothing affected. She said, why I should go back to the same place? Because he was not as pure as the father, as the daughter. He was the only daughter. And people were so much, by the humor, so much disgracing this Parashuram, who was the king's priest. So anyway, she did not go. She brought a deity from the Yamuna, and then she gave it to the father that you worship, change your life, give up your. So he gave his job and everything, and was trying to remember her daughter and her instruction. And in this way, he became purified. And at the end, just like the Mirabai, she entered into the body of Krishna, and left her life and went back to God. So material why the Pravati mark is dangerous. You have to come back here in the material world and remain in the material world. Unfulfilled desires. So many desires which are remain unfulfilled. You have to take rebirth again and again. So all this we read before, how you come back again, and this Jnana, Karma Kand, then Jnana Kand. So those are not really, you don't have to go through all these details. The easiest thing that we are spiritual. We are looking for our heart is contaminated. We have to cleanse it. Cheto Darpana Marjana. So our consciousness should be Krishna conscious. We talk about ISKCON International Society for Krishna consciousness, but you have to become fully Krishna conscious. Remove all unworthy things or things has nothing to do with the soul. Everything you remember what is the needs of the soul, and is the soul or Krishna would be happy, and surrendering process has to be there. So that is a material gratification. It is increased in this Kali Yuga, this material sense of gratification. There is no end to that. Newer and newer gadgets, newer and newer things, newer and newer foods, newer and newer travel, newer and newer scenery. These are not needed by the soul. So need some spiritual atmosphere, calm and quiet, and thinking of Krishna all the time. And every activity has been explained in the previous verse. Now, in this verse, it is explained that one who has perfect Brahmanical knowledge rejects the process of elevation to higher planets. That is the karma kand, going to the higher planets. And what we will do? They have also, the Indra also has to die. Whoever has taken birth, they also have sense enjoyment. So what is the point? Shene Bhune Mrityu Lokamishya. They come back again to this material. Except Nivritti Marg. And except Nivritti Marg, in other words, the prepare himself to go back home, back to Godhead. Those who are not Brahmanas, but atheists, do not know what is Pravatti Marg or Nivritti Marg. What are those two things? They just whatever makes them feel good, they do it. That is Pravatti Marg. Eat, drink, and be merry, or back, borrow, or steal, and enjoy. Ghritam. Rinam Kratva Ghritam Pive. Yavat Jivet Sukam Jivet. That you back, borrow, steal, and just eat the things prepared by ghee, which is very palatable. And even if you have to back, borrow, steal, whatever you have to do, you do that. So they simply want to obtain pleasure at any cost. Our Krishna consciousness movement is therefore training devotees to give himself to go back home. Not Brahmanas, but atheists do not know what is Marga or Nivritti Marga. They simply want to obtain pleasure at any cost. Our Krishna consciousness movement is therefore training devotees to give up Pravritti Marga and accept the Nivritti Marga. Means slowly to go towards Krishna. That is Krishna conscious Marga. In order to return home back to Godhead. This is little difficult to understand, but it is very easy. If one takes to Krishna consciousness seriously and tries to understand Krishna, a Krishna conscious person can understand that performing yajna according to the karma kant system is a useless waste of time, and that merely giving up, they do aswamedh yajna and so many different yajnas. It's not really necessary to do all the yajnas. Means you put to the Supreme Lord, you prepare nicely and offer plate every day. Why just yajna in a year you do? The proper yajna cannot be done in this age. So better yajna sankirtana praya, yajanti sumedasa. The people who are with good intelligence, they do sankirtan yajna. That is the recommended process. And merely giving up the karma kant and accepting the process of speculation, that is Gyan kant, is also unfruitful. Therefore, Narottam Das Thakur has sung in this Prem View Bhakti Chandrika, Karma kanda, Gyana kanda, Kevala Vishayera Panda. They are the pots of Vishay. Means stool, urine, pus, whatever, bad smell. Amrata, Baliya, Yeha, Khai. Thinking that it is Amrit, it is nectar. The body is filled up. The opposite sex, the body is always filled up. Urine, stool, intestine, meat, bones, everything is all there. Just a little layer of the skin. It is a skin bag, a leather bag. So people are leather bag conscious rather than Krishna conscious. So he's Narottam Das Thakur, Nana Yoni Sada Fire. They are going through 8.4 million species of life. Kadarya Bhakshana Kare. They eat anything, any nonsense, meat, etc. Tara Janme, other Pate, yeah, that they fall down to the material world. A life of Karma Kand or Gyan Kand is like a poison pot, and one who takes to such a life is doomed. In the Karma Kand section system, one is destined to accept birth and death again and again. Similarly, with Gyan Kand, one falls down again to this material world. Only worship of the Supreme Person offers one the safety of going back home, back to God. So the Gyan Kandis, they want to merge with the God and they want to call themselves Namo Narayan. You are Narayan, I am Narayan, everybody is Narayan. So they want to merge and they take support of Maya to get the power. Krishna has no power. So that is all Mayavad. That Maya is greater than Krishna, and they don't worship Krishna. They may think, yes, there is a deity, but deity is transformation, or deity comes from the impersonal to personalism. Just, but once we know or we have crossed, we don't have to get through the deity. Oh, now we understand. So this is the people, they remain as Trishanku in the Brahma Jyoti, and then they fall down. So safest thing is Krishna consciousness. Go back home, back to Krishna's abode in Golok Vrindavan, and serve and play with him and enjoy all kinds of opportunities. Billions and billion times more than what you could enjoy in the material world. Because everything that is possessed by the Father, automatically it belongs to children. We are all children of Krishna. We have forgotten our real position, who we are, and what has to be done. But we could enjoy, like say, people, apsaras, they are beautiful. Then more beautiful are the gopis. So the enjoyment or wealth is much more. And in Kubera's place or Indra's place or even Brahmalok or beyond that, but or even Vaikuntha. But beyond Vaikuntha is Krishna, where you could play with him. You could enjoy with him in any relationship you want. Krishna is waiting for us to come and embrace us, and we can live with us and enjoy. With that, you cannot compare with any enjoy. It's not here. It is not even a drop in the ocean. If Krishna consciousness is ocean, we are not enjoying even a drop, and that too is so flickering that it will go away. So why not to take just one birth as human life that we have now, and then you worship Krishna and go and finish your business of sense enjoyment, Parvati Marg, in this lifetime. Just enjoy Krishna consciousness, and it is much more enjoyable even now. So I will read the next verse. Indriyani manashurmo vachi vaikarikam manah vacham varna saman maye tam onkare sware nyase onkaram vindunadetam tam tu prane mahatya mum. The mind is always agitated by waves of acceptance and rejection. You want this, you don't want this. This is good, this is bad. So, what this acceptance and rejection? There should not be this duality. You accept this, you reject this, heat, cold, profit, non-profit, loss, my friend, my enemy. This dupliciousness is not good. I cannot take it. Just accept whatever comes in your way. Accept, behave with everybody nicely. That they are all devotees, because ultimately we are all children. They are all brother, and act for their welfare of everyone. Jividaya, let's bring them to Krishna consciousness. Chant the holy name. Have them chant also holy name. Ame Ruchi and Vaishnava serve. Whoever is senior Vaishnava serve. So, rejection. Therefore, all the activities of the senses should be offered into mind, which should be offered into one's words. So, mind that thinks activities, then it goes into the words. Then once a word should be offered into the aggregate of all alphabets. Words, when it is aggregate of alphabets, should be offered into the point bindu. Bindu into the vibrations of the sound, and that vibration into the life air. Then the living entity, who is all that remain, should be placed in Brahman, the supreme. This is the process of sacrifice. So these things cannot be done now. Bindu point and this point, and you look at the tip of your nose, and so the mind is always agitated. So mind should be engaged all the time. Manayeva manushanam karanam bandha moksha. It could bind you or it could liberate you, which are compared to mental waves that are constantly tossing. The living entity is floating in the waves of material existence because of the forgetfulness. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur is therefore sung the Gitavali. Meche Mayar Vase Yacha Bese Acha Abu Go Bhai. I will like to read this verse, which is very nice. Just the translation, but I will read this. Radha Krishna bol 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 re sobai शिक्षा दिया सपना दिया फिर से नीचे गौर निकाय माया बोसे झको भेसे अच्छो अबू डूबो भाई कृष्णदास यही विश्वास कर लो तौर दुख नाय कृष्ण बोलबे जबे उलग हबे झोरबे आंख बोले काय राधा कृष्ण बोल संगे चलो यही मात्र भिक्षा चाहिए. That he's begging that he just sing the chant of Hare Krishna. Jai Sakala Vipod Bhakti Vinod Bode Japo. Right? Everyone chant Radha Krishna. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are dancing all over the land of Nadia, giving this teaching to all. Oh brothers, needlessly under the control of Maya, you suffer and are carried away by her words, sometimes floating, sometimes sinking in this ocean of illusion. If you have this faith that the soul is the eternal servant of Krishna, please speak in your mind, Yei Krishna Das, Yei Vishwas. Krishna Das, Yei Karlo Tara Dukha. That we are all Krishna Das, meant to engage in service to Krishna. Then there is no suffering. Hare Krishna mantra is the same that Srimati Radharani, please engage me in the service of Lord Krishna, in your service. And when you chant about the name of Krishna, your body will shiver in ecstasy and your eyes will shed tears in love of Him. This is what I say. Chant Radha Krishna in the association of devotees. That is Sankirtan. This is the only request I beg. Bhakti Vinod says, when I chant that holy name of the Lord, all dangers go away. So This is from Gita Vali by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and I will read one more verse later on. Jeev Krishna Das, Hey Vishwas, Kar Leta aur Dukh Hanti. If we simply regard the lotus feet of Krishna as our ultimate shelter, we shall be saved from all these waves of Maya, which are variously exhibited as mental. These waves are mental and sensual activities, and the agitation of and rejection and acceptance. Krishna instructs in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayami ma sucha. That you give up all this and surrender to Krishna. That is the process. This worship, this yagya, that yagya, this reading book, this katha, this. Nothing is needed if you just worship Krishna. Krishna wants that he is the Supreme Lord, so he does not want anybody else to come in his way. Ekanti ki Hari Bhakti. Other than that, it's Utpat. Means no demigod worship, no another worship. So Krishna wants Mam Ekam. Ekam means only to Krishna. Sharanam. Just come and take shelter of me alone. Abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Therefore, if we simply place ourselves at the lotus feet of Krishna by taking to Krishna consciousness and keeping always in touch with Krishna by chanting the Hare Krishna, that is by. So, all the time we should just chant Hare Krishna. Mam Anusmara Yudhacha. Anusmara means remember me, and if I do your material duty, but by chanting, by I'm all doing for Krishna. Everything you have family, you have job, you have children, all you have to do is for the pleasure of Krishna. They belong to Krishna, not me and mine, my son, my wife. This me keeps us bound into the material world. So we should think, dear Krishna, they are all yours. I'm just your servant. I am your das. I am your slave. And please engage me. And taking care of children, wife, family, society, that is all right, but in relation to Krishna. Nothing by itself. And nothing that I have some qualification. I have no qualification. I'm simply your servant. May Krishna please engage me in your divine service of your lotus feet. So please make my mind that I always remember you in any instance. So we need not take much trouble in arranging to return to the. So it is simple for simple-hearted person. It is not duplicious heart, simple and duplicious. So we should not be between heat, cold, honor, dishonor, somebody rebuking, somebody's beating. Just it is my karma that has caused me to this status, and let me suffer my whatever I have done in previous life. By the mercies of Krishna, you would not even feel what is in your destiny. By the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is very easy. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Namaiva Kevalam. Kalo Nasteva, Gatir Anyata. So we'll talk about a little bit more about these things. Pravritti Marga, Nivritti Marga, Krishna. Means I wanted to go for more verses, but we have done 52 and 53. 2 verses. One more from this Bhakti Vinod Thakur. It's a very nice, just the purport. Lord Gaurachandra sings in a very sweet voice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So he's inviting us to come. Whether you are a householder, also. Okay. Whether you are a householder or a sannyasi, constantly chant Hari, Hari, Hari. Do not forget this chanting. Whether you are a happy condition or a distressful one, just fill your lips with the Harinam. We are bound up in the network of Maya and are forced to toil fruitlessly. Now you have obtained a full consciousness in the human form of life. It is possible in the human form to get out of this material. Okay. So can you see me? Okay. Consider this just once. While you wander in this world, under the control of material desires, what happiness will you achieve in this mundane life? What kind of happiness? We have not seen what is Krishna conscious happiness. We have seen only happiness of the sensual enjoyment, putting senses in touch with the sense objects. But it is very flickering, it just go away and it becomes stale. But real happiness is in Krishna consciousness, and that we will relish. It takes certain time. That is what we are suffering in the material world until we take to Krishna consciousness. Who are you? Where have you come from? You do not know who I am. You don't know that I am servant of Krishna, and where we have come from is I am Krishna. How did you come here? What have you done? And where will you go at the time of death? What would happen to the next? So, why so much worldly happiness, distress, and fear, which arise from the false egoism that I and my body. I means my body. I'm this. My possessions. Me and I and me. Me means mine means whatever I survey, my wealth, my family, my reputation, my job, my nationalism, as well as insignificant victory and defeat, anger, violence, and envy towards other living beings. Bhakti Vinod says, just take shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Gaur Sundar uh, and become blissful at the singing of the names of Radha and Krishna. So, uh, so these two verses, little bit summary of those two verses, and Chaitanya Charitamrita also talks much more. Is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha and Krishna. 100 years of separation. Krishna goes to Dwarka. But at the time of Kurukshetra, after 100 years, there is a solar eclipse. And then people come from Dwarka, as well as everybody is coming from Vrindavan, particularly the gopis. They long so much to see Krishna. And so they all go with the great, even Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda and all the gopis and cow, the boys, they all go there. So, but here they see that so much entourage and Krishna is not in goat form and he's wearing his clothing is all royal clothing and elephants and chariots and people who are walking and so much noise. And so they say that it is not a right place. Krishna, they want to talk to Krishna. And so they put on the chariot and they take him, try to get him to Vrindavan, but he could not go because of so many duties. And so they blame to Brahma that we want to see Krishna without, and he has made us blink eyes that leads, that blinks, and we close, and for that moment, it feels like a whole lifetime. So how much love to be there to feel a little separation of closing the eye from Krishna. So just what the gopis spoke, dear Lord, whose navel is just like a lotus flower, Padmanath, lotus flower. Your lotus feet are the only shelter for those who have fallen into the deep well of material existence. This material existence is a blind well, and if you fall down, you can never come out. You will be devoured, and it's better to not to fall. Material life is a blind well. That Lord Maharaj is also saying that why blind well? Because there is suffering in this life and the next life. There is no solace, there is no happiness of the soul, but it's just senses they become pleased for a time being. And again, a relationship in the material world is all everybody is envious, it is all selfish. Wife wants, husband should serve, husband wants, wife should serve. In this way, there is constantly anxiety, agitation, there is no worship of Krishna, and ultimately you have so many desires, and then you end up with so much desires, then you have to take birth to fulfill those again. So again and again you're brought into the material world from time and memory. Now you have your Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Now you have this human form of life. Please take to Krishna consciousness. By mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Prabhupada, it is easy to obtain. It is easy for a simple person, and it is very, very difficult or complicated mind person. People are saying, oh, just chanting, you could get Krishna. Yes, but they have no faith in that. Deep well of material existence. Your feet are worshipped and meditated upon. This is the gopis are telling to Krishna. Meditated upon the great mystic yogis and highly learned philosophers. We wish that these lotus feet may also be awakened within our heart, that we could remember you, your lotus feet, we could always serve. Although we are only ordinary persons engaged in household operations. So devotees are not big learned ladies. You see that Yagya Brahmanas, they are very, very learned. They are doing Yagyas and all this. And then there is a Brahmanis, Yagyapatnis. So these boys, they came, and then because Krishna was hungry and the boys were hungry, they asked that dear devotees, they were very highly elevated, paid by Kansa and all this. They were doing know all the scriptures and all the slokas. No, no, get out. So they did not care. They told the name of Krishna and Balaram, but they are nearby. Please give us some food. They are hungry, but they did not care. So later on, Krishna sent them they, to Brahmins. They were simple-hearted, very kind, very affectionate. They were always remember and heard about Krishna. Even if they were in Mathura and Krishna was in Vrindavan, and they immediately got ready and prepared all bhoga plates and took to Krishna, fed them with their own hands. And then when they realized this yagya, people, Brahmanas doing yagya, oh, what we have done. Our wives are great devotees. Even if they did not know any words, any scripture, nothing, but they have love. Because love is there in everybody's heart. Love means Krishna consciousness is there. Everyone, because we are all children of Krishna. But because of the time memorial, we have forgotten our real self who we are part of Krishna. We are meant to give pleasure to Krishna. With his Siddha, Krishna praying, Sadhya Kabuna, Avanadi Shuddha Chitte, Taraya Udaya. By hearing Shuddha Chitta, because our Chitta is covered, Chitta is a reflection. Chitta means we have to have this, there are processes, purificatory processes. Then heart will be cleansed. Just before even the birth, there is a Garvadhan Sanskar. You chant 50 rounds, think of Krishna all day. Then you could meet. Before there was children born, just from like Brahma, many children, but that is from mind and from eyes and from different parts, from forehead, he produced children like this. So it's not that it's not amazing that how just a man, there is union is not necessary between male and female. By mercy of Krishna, it would be born just from men or female to children. It's not male, female is our conception. In spiritual kingdom, there is no male or female. Everybody is all servants. All servants of Krishna serve in various parts. You say that gopis are not, yes, they are serving Krishna. Even in a human form, doesn't matter. But they don't want to come. Purush means enjoy. Everybody in the material world, but all is female. All are females. Because the male is only that was the discussion between uh, Mirabai and Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami said that I don't want to see any woman. So she said that from where this word woman has come. Are you male? Male is only Krishna. Jiva Goswami realized that immediately and they had a little bit meeting in Vrindavan. When Jiva Goswami advised her, according to your feeling, you should go to Dwarka. So she went to Dwarka because she had that Krishna is my husband. So she went and in Vrindavan, they are all paramours. Rani is married to Krishna and according to Brahma Puran, we cannot say that. But anyway, this so Mirabai went there. He did meet Jiva Goswami in Vrindavan. And then she went to Jiva Goswami, and they are all Manjaris, little young girls who are serving Krishna in the spiritual kingdom. But they come to the material world just to give pleasure to Krishna, to serve Krishna. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna came, so many, like Dwadas Gopal, and so many people they came, and Ramchandra came. Then so many demigods they came as monkeys to serve Lord Ramchandra. So in this way, I was just reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita. The gopis were never interested in karma yoga, jnana yoga, or dhyana yoga. They were simply interested in bhakti yoga unless they were forced. Bhakti yoga means to remember Krishna all the time, in every activity, that he is the real doer, he is the real male, he is the real enjoyer. Let me give him pleasure. Never like to meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord. Unless they were forced, they never like to meditate. It's just dhyan. They want to just serve Krishna. Thinking, feeling, willing to do. Use your senses in the service of the master of the sense. That is the real bhakti. They prefer to take the lotus feet of the Lord and place them on their breast. Sometimes they regretted that their breast were so hard. Hearing that Krishna might not be bring their lotus feet in your heart, they thought that it will touch the breast and our breast is so hard. That is their feeling. They thought about Gopiji. So the gopis wanted to keep Krishna, at home always. And in this way, and so home is in Vrindavan. In this way, their minds were absorbed in Krishna consciousness. When they did not like Ananya Bhakti, when gopis, they went, like Krishna left the arena, he took Radharani, and then later on, the gopis were searching. Even Radharani also was left alone. And Krishna appeared as 400 Vishnu, Narayan. Gopis, they just paid obeisances, but did not even look at him. Have you seen Krishna? He did not say, they just walked away. So gopis want only Krishna. Aradhya Bhagwan Vrajesh Tanay. Tad Dhama Vrindavan. What Vrajesh Tanay? Vrajesh is Nanda Maharaj. His Tanay means son. Tad Dhama Vrindavan. His Dham is Vrindavan. He is in Vrindavan. So that Krishna, that gopis, and we should also worship that Krishna who is Vrindavan, not another Krishna. In all 1,000 Chaturyugis, uh, one day that comes, one Chaturyugi that like that is this Chaturyugi, where Krishna comes personally, Krishna himself. But otherwise it is Krishna by name, but it's not the same Krishna as Vrindavan Krishna. They are all expansion from Narayana Vishnu. It comes in this way, but it is not real Krishna. So anyway, our job is to meditate on Krishna and want to serve him. Their minds were absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Such pure Krishna consciousness can arise only in Vrindavan. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to explain his own mind, which was saturated in the ecstasy of the gopis. Speaking in the mood of Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "For most people, the mind and heart are one. But because my mind is never separated from Vrindavan, I always think my mind is always, I consider my mind and Vrindavan to be one. Mind and Vrindavan. If mind is thinking of Vrindavan, then it becomes Vrindavan. One worm, he thinks of that he will be devoured, then he changes his body even in that lifetime without getting birth again. The mind is already Vrindavan. And since you like Vrindavan, will you please place your lotus feet there? I should deem that your full mercy. They are asking Krishna, so that is what is Rath Yatra. Rath Yatra means Kurukshetra is like Dwarka, saying everything. And then this Gundicha, where the Rath goes, so they want to put in their heart or in the chariot and then bring it to Gundicha, which is this is the place that gopis are praying that, oh my Lord, please come, sit in the chariot. And then the Lakshmis, uh, wives of Dwarka, they all come and sometimes beat to the gopis that you not in this way. It is just a joke, but getting all the opulences like your Ashtanga yogis, they want all the siddhis. So what is the use of the cities? You could walk on the water. You could just pay few rupees and you could cross. So why to waste 40, 50 years in just crossing? You could walk on the fire. These are all sensual enjoyment, becoming famous. Oh, he could walk. He's such a big yogi. There's nothing to do with yoga. Should directly love Krishna just like you love your son, and without any duplicity, just love. And Krishna likes that. He does not like all opulences, big offers. Duryodhan ko meva tyagi, saga vidur kharkhag. It is banana peels and eating the bear of the shabri. So he likes the love in our heart. Labalab, pura bharawa heart hai. Krishna can appear before you. Many stories are there and how Radharani and Krishna they come to help. Like Prahlad Maharaj was in the prison and he did not give him the food. He stopped eating and then the Krishna, Lakshmi ji or Radharani they go to the prison and then they feed. Nice. So in this way, न मे भक्त प्रणश्यति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानिहि न मे भक्त प्रणश्यति. My devotee never perishes, never suffers. Krishna protects. So we should surrender to Krishna. If you could understand, Jeev Krishna Das, Ye Vishwas, Sarlat Margat, and suffering in the material world. We don't realize suffering. We think, oh, doctor would give me some treatment, or oh, I have so much bank balance and that will protect me. I have insurance. Nothing can protect you when the death time comes. You cannot buy even 1 second in billions of dollars that you may pay. So better when we are have some good consciousness, some good thinking or understanding about Krishna. We should worship him wholeheartedly. We have respect him. One time paying obeisance to Krishna is equal to 10 Ashwamedh years. It is not ordinary to pay Stanga Pranama and of. So I want to leave a couple minutes for a question and answer. There are so much to talk about this Jnana Kand and Karma Kand, Vishera Bhanda. They are all poisonous. Vish means poison. So parts of poison, and we are drinking poison every day. How long will be able to survive? You have to go through so many insects and so many lifetimes. But one lifetime, if you could give to Krishna, just few years of your life, if you could give, Krishna will be very happy, and he is waiting with open arms to embrace you. But first, we have to desire. Lolim api ekli bulli. The value I Krishna is lolim, lolupta. Amai nari pyari jimi, lovai prijimidam, timi Raghunatha nirantara, basam hriday Shri Ram. That please you sit in my core of my heart. We should be able to put Krishna in the core of our heart. I will end here. If you have any questions, comments, I hope that you could hear well. There was no distraction. Sound was okay. It's just a small cell phone that I've done. So you could open up, unmute yourself, and whatever. If nothing question, then we could just chant Hare Krishna mantra one together in unison and end the class. Hare Krishna. Arthadas Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you very much for the wonderful class and understanding the material propensities and how we should not fall into this pit of material engagements. Maharaj, how can like we as grahasthas make sure we don't fall, because we have to engage with many material activities to do our duty as a grahastha. And how can we ensure that we are not deriving pleasure out of it, but just doing that as a service?
So Prabhu, grahasthas are brahmacharis. As long as they are Krishna conscious, are thinking of Krishna in every step, on every breath, that they think, I'm alive, I'm taking breath because of Krishna, I'm eating because of Krishna. Family belongs to Krishna. My children belongs to Krishna. My job belongs to Krishna. I belong to Krishna. So you surrender, Sharanagati, you give yourself, then whatever you do, so you become surrender to yourself, Sharanagati, then whatever you do, that belongs to Krishna. But you cannot offer your fruits of your hard work without surrendering yourself. So first you surrender, and then whatever you are doing, like slave surrenders to the Malik, and then whatever he's doing for the boss. and it becomes all his duties. So we should have Krishna in the center of our life. Always chant that, please engage me. And then we do everything for Krishna, thinking of him. That whatever knowledge I have is Krishna. Whatever possession is Krishna. My body, mind, words, possessions, all belong to Krishna. Wife, children, bank balance, prestige, knowledge, intelligence. Doesn't matter you are a sannyasi or you are a grahastha or brahmachari or vanprastha, whatever you are, but we all belong to Krishna. Meant for Krishna. These divisions are there just for that Brahman should do Brahmanical activity, but it's not for spiritual life. It's not necessary that anybody could make it spiritual. It's not that only sannyasi has prerogative to become a pure devotee. Even a grahastha or even a poorest person, he could become a Krishna conscious. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Thank you for the wonderful answer.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, Vanshi Vilas Prabhu.
Maharaj,
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, Tanapran, all grace to Prabhupada. It was such a nice class that you always put your realization, your deep realizations, and the subject matter in perspective for lucidly for us to imbibe. So thank you for your association, Maharaj, and please grace us with the same in the future also, so that we can purify ourselves. I have one question. I didn't get a chance to be in between work, so didn't get a chance to listen to every sections of your discourse, Prabhu, Maharaj. I have one question regarding why Narad Muni, even after, Narad Muni is making it little difficult. Krishna made it simpler in chapter 2. Yatatopi kaunteya purushasya vipaschita indriyani pramathini haranti prasavamana tani sarvani samya yuktaya sitamatpara. He's saying, you assign your senses to me, automatically they'll be purified. So why is it becoming so, making Narad Muni is making it difficult? Here, put it your senses to your this thing, words and words to alphabet, this and that. Why is it so much complicated?
Okay, it's a nice question, Prabhu. The reason is people are of different mind. They are not the same like you. So they have complicated mind. So they have to be given a complicated process. So they could realize. But Krishna consciousness is very simple for simple-hearted people, simple persons. Their food is simple, their life is simple. They don't want to show off. They remain secluded. I give that why the story of this Karmeti Bai and how she used to live alone. So those are there. All these kinds of things are for all different kinds of people. The scriptures are not meant just for pure devotees, but for everybody. So they could raise up and come to Krishna consciousness. So that's why all these processes are there. So we read that we don't mind reading, but ultimately it is Prabhupada had installation of Krishna and Balram in Vrindavan. He had Dharmakandis Brahman to do the yagya, all chant all the slokas, but the devotees were chanting Hare Krishna mantra. When Prabhupada said that we installed the deities and invited the deities to come just by chanting, not by Dharmakandis Brahman. But other people would not accept a temple as proper or as installed properly, so they would not come. So Prabhupada wanted to preach to most of the populace, not just Mathura, all over the world. So he did that. So it is for complicated people who don't want to accept simple method. They think simple means it is not really good. So they have a complicated method. Okay?
Yeah, and they will not be able to follow the complicated process itself, which Arjuna.
Either, yeah. They don't want to follow, but they just create some trouble.
Yeah. Thank you, Maharaj, for your erudite discourses.
No, Prabhu, I don't have any realization. Nothing. I just heard about Prabhupada and I just repeat as a postman is giving you intact letter. without any changes.
Your humility, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, anyone has any another comments, questions?
Hare Krishna Maharaji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Your lecture was amazing. I actually heard it for the first time. I haven't heard you earlier. I just started these classes. It was so captivating. I just couldn't. I usually zone out, but I could just focus. So, one question I have, actually two. The first one is about the Karmeti Bai, the story. My phone kind of, I don't know, I lost Wi-Fi. What happened when her father came to Vrindavan? She was in Brahmakund, and then what happened, Maharaji?
Yeah, they were all looking. He was asking from Mathura Chaturvedis.
Yeah.
And then because they heard about her, that a young girl has come from wherever, but it's such a devotee, she all constantly tears are coming from her eyes all the time, and she has so practically people they knew. So he was looking where people did not know even about the Brahmakund. Because Brahmaji, when he stole all the cows and calves and he dug there and he worshipped Krishna at that place. So that's why this Brahmakund is famous in Vrindavan. It's near the South Indian temple. I don't know what is the name, but you may know it's a big temple, huge temple.
Is it
It's on
Ranganath?
that side.
Is it
Yeah,
Ranganath?
Ranganath. Yeah, it's the Ranganath temple. Correct.
Yeah.
It's a nearby that you could ask anyone. So see, Brahmakunda, it is there, and then it was renovated recently, a few years back.
Yeah.
It was place of garbage that people were throwing. It was a big kund, but people were throwing garbage. But now it is cleaned up, and it is a nice preserved, and pictures are there. So, uh, so she was wearing only the dry leaves as her clothing. We could not take the. She would not take the regular leaf with that they have to cut the trees, and these are all really Vaishnavas. They are all devotees.
Right.
They just want to serve Krishna as the plants, trees. No one should cut. Pata pata ko. There are Radha Hoy. So
Yeah.
the leaves and branches, and they're all Radha Rani. So we used to get one should not cut the trees unnecessarily. They are all Krishna and Krishna's friends serving Krishna. So Vrindavan is not an ordinary place. And the people, they are not ordinary. They may speak harsh words, but they are still Vajvasis, much higher position than what we can imagine. Even the animals and pursuits, dogs and monkeys, and they are not ordinary monkeys. So she gets these leaves which falls down. She does not cut, and then she makes the clothing from that and wears that. And tears that whole mud becomes weight. So her father went there. She saw him because he was a devotee, somewhat not like her daughter. So he pays her obeisances and he's just watching her. And then when she did not move, or she talked, Dharmeti, open your eyes. And then he had to shook her. Then she came to her consciousness, and then he requested her to please come. My nose is cut. He says, do you have a nose? People who don't chant has no nose really, who don't do any devotional service is noseless. They may not know them. They may say they have big nose and big breath. Nose means a practice also. नाक कट गई है उनकी practice खत्म हो गई. So, anyway, that's so she did not go at all. Then she said, Father, you go home. Then she went to the Yamuna and she found a deity and she gave her father, they worship them. So he gave her job worshipping the deity form, and ultimately he was also become free and become somewhat close to her daughter, his daughter.
Beautiful.
But she went to Krishna's abode.
Yeah.
You could see in the Google,
Yeah.
Karmaiti Bai.
Yeah, sure. Maharaji, beautiful story. And the other question I had was, so was it during the Kurukshetra when gopis met Lord Krishna? Were you talking about?
Yes, after 100 years, there was a curse. And Krishna says, and he makes that curse also a nice pastime. Not that Krishna has to take any curse of any kind, but he can mitigate all kinds. But he takes it just and have played in that way.
Mm.
So they came in Kurukshetra, and he invited also Vrajvasis to come there. So they all came, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. And that you remember that when Radharani came there, then the gopis, that's particularly Rukmini and Satyabhama, took some nice milk and gave it to her. It was hot milk, and she drank that hot milk. And then in the morning, Krishna, then when they went to the queens, they went to Krishna, and he had what you call it, blisters all over his body. They asked her, "How come, my lord, you have blisters?" He said that you have given hot milk to Srimati Radharani, and that is my residing place. I live in the heart of my Srimati Radha.
Yeah. Yeah, Maharaj. So,
Okay.
so in that pastime, Krishna meets the gopis and then he goes back and they go back to Vrindavan, right? The pastime, the way it would.
Right. Yeah. But they took him for a short time on a chariot, like a plane, and that is what is the Rath Yatra. This Kurukshetra with all this infantry and all these chariots and elephants, and that is like a Dwarka. So they are Jagannath Puri is also a very opulent. So then they take him from there to Gundicha temple, which is a replica of Vrindavan.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So they bring him from Dwarka to Vrindavan, or from Jagannath Puri to Vrindavan.
Yeah. And okay.
They live there for 9 days. Then there is a Bahuda Yatra. Bhagavan is returning back.
Yeah. 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 Thank you so much, Maharaji. Beautiful pastimes. I wish we could listen to it like 24/7. Just so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Maharaji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. On Wednesday also I have class. Same time. Your is 7:20, and it would be different place, different. So maybe Radha Raman Prabhu, if he is still there, he can send it.
Okay.
That is on Wednesday. Okay.
Sure, Maharaji. Would love to join.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, is it on the same conference call or different conference call?
No, different conference call with the Shyam Gauri.
Oh, okay. Then Mataji, you message me and then I can send you the details.
Sure, Prabhuji. I will.
Mataji, your name is?
Monica Goyal, Maharaji.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Nice to talk to you, and thank you that you like these pastimes.
Thank you, Maharaji. Well, coming from a devotee was just so beautiful. Thank you, Maharaji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Anyone else has any comments? So should we end now? So if there is no further questions, we will end the conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for this nectar class. As always, about the very nicely explaining Jagannath pastimes. So thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. So if nobody has any question or comment, we can end up the call here.
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय हरे कृष्ण
His Grace Shami Krishi Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much.
हरे